Lion is the second largest living big cat after the tiger. Males are unique among the cat species for their thick mane of brown or black hair encircling their head and neck. The mane darkens with age, and the thicker and darker a mane is the healthier the cat. Both males and females roar a sound heard as far as 8 kilometers away. While most cat species are solitary, this big cat is an exception. It has developed a social system based on teamwork, division of labor, and an extended family unit. The average pride consists of about 15 individuals, with 5 to 10 females, their young, and 2 or 3 territorial males. These are usually brothers or pride mates who have formed a coalition to protect their females. When resting, which may be up to 20 hours a day, these cats seem to enjoy good fellowship with lots of touching, head rubbing, licking, and purring. Usually, 2 or more females in a pride give birth around the same time, and the cubs are raised together. Some mothers carefully nurture their young and will even permit other lion cubs to suckle, sometimes enabling a neglected infant to survive. However, at times, a female may also neglect or abandon her cubs, especially if food is scarce. Antelope, zebra, and wildebeests are common prey for this big cat. However, scavenged food provides more than 50% of their diets. These big cats will often take overkills made by other carnivores, and cooperative hunting enables them to take down prey as large as buffaloes, rhinos, hippos, and giraffes. The female does 85 to 90% of the hunting, usually by setting up an ambush for its prey. The kill is not shared equally within a pride, and at times of prey scarcity, cubs might experience higher mortality rates as hungry females may not even share with their offspring. This cat's population is steadily decreasing in the wild. In just 2 decades, populations decreased by 43%, and it's estimated that as few as 23,000 remain today. One of the main causes is the alarming rate at which they are losing their habitats due to expanding human populations and the resulting growth of agriculture, settlements, and roads. As lion habitats shrink, the big cats are being forced into closer quarters with humans. This, coupled with a decrease in their natural prey, causes them to attack livestock. In turn, farmers oftentimes retaliate and kill these big majestic cats. These big cats are being killed in rituals of bravery, prized as hunting trophies, and, increasingly, for their body parts' perceived medicinal and magical powers. The lion, Panthera leo, is a large cat of the genus Panthera, native to Africa and India. It has a muscular, broad-chested body, a short, rounded head, round ears, and a hairy tuft at the end of its tail. It is sexually dimorphic. Adult male lions are larger than females and have a prominent mane. It is a social species, forming groups called prides. A lion's pride consists of a few adult males, related females, and cubs. Groups of female lions usually hunt together, preying mostly on large ungulates. The lion is an apex and keystone predator, although some lions scavenge when opportunities occur and have been known to hunt humans. Lions typically do not actively seek out and prey on humans. The lion inhabits grasslands, savannas, and shrublands. It is usually more diurnal than other wild cats, but when persecuted, it adapts to being active at night and at twilight. During the Neolithic period, the lion ranged throughout Africa and Eurasia, from southeast Europe to India, but it has been reduced to fragmented populations in sub-Saharan Africa and one population in western India. It has been listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List since 1996 because populations in African countries have declined by about 43% since the early 1990s. Lion populations are untenable outside designated protected areas. Although the cause of the decline is not fully understood, habitat loss and conflicts with humans are the greatest causes for concern. Extinction of lions in southern Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East interrupted gene flow between lion populations in Asia and Africa. Genetic evidence revealed numerous mutations in lion samples from East and Southern Africa, which indicates that this group has a longer evolutionary history than genetically less diverse lion samples from Asia and West and Central Africa. A whole genome-wide sequence of lion samples showed that samples from West Africa shared alleles with samples from Southern Africa, and samples from Central Africa shared alleles with samples from Asia. This phenomenon indicates that Central Africa was a melting pot of lion populations after they had become isolated, possibly migrating through corridors in the Nile Basin during the early Holocene. In zoos, lions have been bred with tigers to create hybrids for the curiosity of visitors or for scientific purpose. The liger is bigger than a lion and a tiger, whereas most tigons are relatively small compared to their parents because of reciprocal gene effects. The leopon is a hybrid between a lion and leopard. The lion is a muscular, broad-chested cat with a short, rounded head, a reduced neck, and round ears. Males have broader heads. The fur varies in color from light buff to silvery-gray, yellowish-red, and dark brown. The colors of the underparts are generally lighter. A newborn lion has dark spots, which fade as the cub reaches adulthood, although faint spots may still be seen on the legs and underparts. The tail of all lions ends in a dark, hairy tuft that, in some lions, conceals an approximately 5 mm, 0.20 in, long, hard spine or spur that is formed from the final, fused sections of tail bone. The functions of the spur are unknown. The tuft is absent at birth and develops at around 5 + 1 months of age. It is readily identifiable at the age of 7 months. Its skull is very similar to that of the tiger, although the frontal region is usually more depressed and flattened and has a slightly shorter post-orbital region and broader nasal openings than those of the tiger. Due to the amount of skull variation in the two species, usually only the structure of the lower jaw can be used as a reliable indicator of species. The skeletal muscles of the lion make up 58.8% of its body weight and represent the highest percentage of muscles among mammals. Size. Among felids, the lion is second only to the tiger in size. The size and weight of adult lions vary across its range and habitats. Accounts of a few individuals that were larger than average exist from Africa and India. The male lion's mane is the most recognizable feature of the species. It may have evolved around 320,000 to 190,000 years ago. It grows downwards and backwards, covering most of the head, neck, shoulders, and chest. The mane is typically brownish and tinged with yellow, rust, and black hairs. It starts growing when lions enter adolescence, when testosterone levels increase, and reach their full size at around 4 years old. Cool ambient temperatures in European and North American zoos may result in a heavier mane. On average, Asiatic lions have sparser manes than African lions. This feature likely evolved to signal the fitness of males to females. Males with darker manes appear to have greater reproductive success and are more likely to remain in a pride for longer. They have longer and thicker hair and higher testosterone levels, but they are also more vulnerable to heat stress. Unlike in other felid species, female lions consistently interact with multiple males at once. Another hypothesis suggests that the mane also serves to protect the neck in fights, but this is disputed. During fights, including those involving maneless females and adolescents, the neck is not targeted as much as the face, back, and hindquarters. Injured lions also begin to lose their manes. Almost all male lions in Pendyari National Park are either maneless or have very short manes. Maneless lions have also been reported in Senegal, in Sudan's Dinder National Park and in Tsavo East National Park, Kenya. Castrated lions often have little to no mane because the removal of the gonads inhibits testosterone production. Rarely, lionesses, in the wild and in captivity, have been observed to grow manes. Increased testosterone may be the cause of maned lionesses reported in northern Botswana. The white lion is a rare morph with a genetic condition called leucism, which is caused by a double recessive allele. It is not albino, it has normal pigmentation in the eyes and skin. White lions have occasionally been encountered in and around Kruger National Park and the adjacent Timbavati Private Game Reserve in eastern South Africa. They were removed from the wild in the 1970s, thus decreasing the white lion gene pool. Nevertheless, 17 births have been recorded in 5 prides between 2007 and 2015. White lions are selected for breeding in captivity. They have reportedly been bred in camps in South Africa for use as trophies to be killed during canned hunts. African lions live in scattered populations across sub-Saharan Africa. The lion prefers grassy plains and savannas, scrub bordering rivers, and open woodlands with bushes. It rarely enters closed forests. On Mount Elgon, the lion has been recorded up to an elevation of 3,600 meters 11,800 feet and close to the snow line on Kenya. Savannas with an annual rainfall of 300 to 1,500 millimeters, 12 to 59 in, make up the majority of lion habitat in Africa, estimated at 3,390,821 square kilometers 1,309,203 square miles at most, but remnant populations are also present in tropical moist forests in West Africa and montane forests in East Africa. The Asiatic lion now survives only in and around Gir National Park in Gujarat, western India. Its habitat is a mixture of dry savanna forest and very dry, deciduous scrub forest. Lions spend much of their time resting, they are inactive for about 20 hours per day. Although lions can be active at any time, their activity generally peaks after dusk with a period of socializing, grooming, and defecating. Intermittent bursts of activity continue until dawn, when hunting most often takes place. They spend an average of 2 hours a day walking and 50 minutes eating. The lion is the most social of all wild felid species, living in groups of related individuals with their offspring. Such a group is called a pride. Groups of male lions are called coalitions. Females form the stable social unit in a pride and do not tolerate outside females. The majority of females remain in their birth prides while all males and some females will disperse. The average pride consists of around 15 lions, including several adult females and up to 4 males and their cubs of both sexes. Large prides, consisting of up to 30 individuals, have been observed. The sole exception to this pattern is the Tsavo lion pride that always has just one adult male. Prides act as fusion societies, and members will split into subgroups that keep in contact with roars. Nomadic lions range widely and move around sporadically, either in pairs or alone. Pairs are more frequent among related males. A lion may switch lifestyles, nomads can become residents and vice versa. Interactions between prides and nomads tend to be hostile, although pride females in estrus allow nomadic males to approach them. Males spend years in a nomadic phase before gaining residence in a pride. A study undertaken in the Serengeti National Park revealed that nomadic coalitions gain residency at between 3.5 and 7.3 years of age. In Kruger National Park, dispersing male lions move more than 25 kilometers 16 miles away from their natal pride in search of their own territory. Female lions stay closer to their natal pride. Therefore, female lions in an area are more closely related to each other than male lions in the same area. The evolution of sociability in lions was likely driven both by high population density and the clumped resources of savanna habitats. The larger the pride, the more high-quality territory they can defend, hotspots being near river confluences, where the cats have better access to water, prey, and shelter, via vegetation. The area occupied by a pride is called a pride area, whereas that occupied by a nomad is a range. Males associated with a pride patrol the fringes. Both males and females defend the pride against intruders, but the male lion is better suited for this purpose due to its stockier, more powerful build. Some individuals consistently lead the defense against intruders, while others lag behind. Lions tend to assume specific roles in the pride. Slower-moving individuals may provide other valuable services to the group. Alternatively, there may be rewards associated with being a leader that fends off intruders. The rank of lionesses in the pride is reflected in these responses. The male or males associated with the pride must defend their relationship with the pride from outside males who may attempt to usurp them. Dominance hierarchies do not appear to exist among individuals of either sex in a pride. Asiatic lion prides differ in group composition. Male Asiatic lions are solitary or associate with up to 3 males, forming a loose pride, while females associate with up to 12 other females, forming a stronger pride together with their cubs. Female and male lions associate only when mating. Coalitions of males hold territory for a longer time than single lions. Males in coalitions of 3 or 4 individuals exhibit a pronounced hierarchy, in which one male dominates the others and mates more frequently. The lion is a generalist hypercarnivore and is considered to be both an apex and keystone predator due to its wide prey spectrum. Its prey consists mainly of ungulates, particularly blue wildebeest, plains zebra, African buffalo, common warthog, gemsbok, and giraffe. In India, cheetal and somber deer are the most common wild prey, while livestock contributes significantly to lion kills outside protected areas. They usually avoid fully grown adult elephants, rhinoceroses, and hippopotamus, and small prey like dik-dik, hyraxes, hares and monkeys. Unusual prey include porcupines and small reptiles. Lions kill other predators but seldom consume them. Young lions first display stalking behavior at around 3 months of age, although they do not participate in hunting until they are almost a year old and begin to hunt effectively when nearing the age of 2. Single lions are capable of bringing down zebra and wildebeest, while larger prey like buffalo and giraffe are riskier. In Chobe National Park, large prides have been observed hunting African bush elephants up to around 15 years old in exceptional cases, with the victims being calves, juveniles, and even subadults. In typical hunts, each lioness has a favored position in the group, either stalking prey on the wing, then attacking, or moving a smaller distance in the center of the group and capturing prey fleeing from other lionesses. Males attached to prides do not usually participate in group hunting. Some evidence suggests, however, that males are just as successful as females. They are typically solo hunters who ambush prey in small bushland. They may join in the hunting of large, slower moving prey like buffalo, and even hunt them on their own. Moderately sized hunting groups generally have higher success rates than lone females and larger groups. Lions are not particularly known for their stamina. For instance, a lioness's heart comprises only 0.57% of her body weight and a male's is about 0.45% of his body weight, whereas a hyena's heart comprises almost 1% of its body weight. Thus, lions run quickly only in short bursts at about 48 to 59 km per hour, 30 to 37 miles per hour, and need to be close to their prey before starting the attack. One study in 2018 recorded a lion running at a top speed of 74.1 km per hour, 46.0 miles per hour. They take advantage of factors that reduce visibility. Many kills take place near some form of cover or at night. The lion's attack is short and powerful. It attempts to catch prey with a fast rush and final leap, usually pulls it down by the rump, and kills with a clamping bite to the throat or muzzle. It can hold the prey's throat for up to 13 minutes, until the prey stops moving. It has a bite force of 1,314.7 Newton at the canine tip and 23.7 Newton at the carnassial notch. Lions typically consume prey at the location of the hunt but sometimes drag large prey into cover. They tend to squabble over kills, particularly the males. Cubs suffer most when food is scarce, but otherwise all pride members eat their fill, including old and crippled lions, which can live on leftovers. Large kills are shared more widely among pride members. An adult lioness requires an average of about 5 kg 11 pounds of meat per day, while males require about 7 kg 15 pounds. Lions gorge themselves and eat up to 30 kg 66 pounds in one session. If it is unable to consume all of the kill, it rests for a few hours before continuing to eat. On hot days, the pride retreats to shade with 1 or 2 males standing guard. Lions defend their kills from scavengers such as vultures and hyenas. Lions scavenge on carrion when the opportunity arises, scavenging animals dead from natural causes such as disease or those that were killed by other predators. Scavenging lions keep a constant lookout for circling vultures, which indicate the death or distress of an animal. Most carrion on which both hyenas and lions feed upon are killed by hyenas rather than lions. Carrion is thought to provide a large part of lion diet. Lions and spotted hyenas occupy a similar ecological niche and compete for prey and carrion. A review of data across several studies indicates a dietary overlap of 58.6%. Lions typically ignore hyenas unless they are on a kill or are being harassed, while the latter tend to visibly react to the presence of lions with or without the presence of food. In the Ngorongoro crater, lions subsist largely on kills stolen from hyenas, causing them to increase their kill rate. In Botswana's Jobe National Park, the situation is reversed as hyenas there frequently challenge lions and steal their kills, obtaining food from 63% of all lion kills. When confronted on a kill, hyenas may either leave or wait patiently at a distance of 30 to 100 m, 98 to 328 feet, until the lions have finished. Hyenas may feed alongside lions and force them off a kill. The two species attack one another even when there is no food involved for no apparent reason. Lions can account for up to 71% of hyena deaths in Etosha National Park. Hyenas have adapted by frequently mobbing lions that enter their home ranges. When the lion population in Kenya's Masai Mara National Reserve declined, the spotted hyena population increased rapidly. Lions tend to dominate cheetahs and leopards, steal their kills and kill their cubs and even adults when given the chance. Cheetahs often lose their kills to lions or other predators. A study in the Serengeti ecosystem revealed that lions killed at least 17 of 125 cheetah cubs born between 1987 and 1990. Cheetahs avoid their competitors by hunting at different times and habitats. Leopards, by contrast, do not appear to be motivated by an avoidance of lions, as they use heavy vegetation regardless of whether lions are present in an area and both cats are active around the same time of day. In addition, there is no evidence that lions affect leopard abundance. Leopards take refuge in trees, though lionesses occasionally attempt to climb up and retrieve their kills. Lions similarly dominate African wild dogs, taking their kills and dispatching pups or adult dogs. Population densities of wild dogs are low in areas where lions are more abundant. However, there are a few reported cases of old and wounded lions falling prey to wild dogs. Most lionesses reproduce by the time they are 4 years of age. Lions do not mate at a specific time of year and the females are polystrous. Like those of other cats, the male lion's penis has spines that point backward. During withdrawal of the penis, the spines rake the walls of the female's vagina, which may cause ovulation. A lioness may mate with more than one male when she is in heat. Lions of both sexes may be involved in group homosexual and courtship activities. Males will also head rub and roll around with each other before mounting each other. Generation of the lion is about 7 years. The average gestation period is around 110 days. The female gives birth to a litter of between 1 and 4 cubs in a secluded den, which may be a thicket, a reed bed, a cave, or some other sheltered area, usually away from the pride. She will often hunt alone while the cubs are still helpless, staying relatively close to the den. Lion cubs are born blind, their eyes opening around 7 days after birth. They weigh 1.2 to 2.1 kilograms, 2.6 to 4.6 pounds, at birth and are almost helpless, beginning to crawl a day or two after birth and walking around 3 weeks of age. To avoid a buildup of scent attracting the attention of predators, the lioness moves her cubs to a new den site several times a month, carrying them one by the nape of the neck. Usually, the mother does not integrate herself and her cubs back into the pride until the cubs are 6 to 8 weeks old. Sometimes the introduction to pride life occurs earlier, particularly if other lionesses have given birth at about the same time. When first introduced to the rest of the pride, lion cubs lack confidence when confronted with adults other than their mother. They soon begin to immerse themselves in the pride life, however, playing among themselves or attempting to initiate play with the adults. Lionesses with cubs of their own are more likely to be tolerant of another lioness's cubs than lionesses without cubs. Male tolerance of the cubs varies. One male could patiently let the cubs play with his tail or his mane, while another may snarl and bat the cubs away. Pride lionesses often synchronize their reproductive cycles and communal rearing and suckling of the young, which suckle indiscriminately from any or all of the nursing females in the pride. The synchronization of births is advantageous because the cubs grow to being roughly the same size and have an equal chance of survival, and sucklings are not dominated by older cubs. Weaning occurs after 6 or 7 months. Male lions reach maturity at about 3 years of age and at 4 to 5 years are capable of challenging and displacing adult males associated with another pride. They begin to age and weaken at between 10 and 15 years of age at the latest. When one or more new males oust the previous males associated with a pride, the victors often kill any existing young cubs, perhaps because females do not become fertile and receptive until their cubs mature or die. Females often fiercely defend their cubs from a usurping male but are rarely successful unless a group of 3 or 4 mothers within a pride join forces against the male. Cubs also die from starvation and abandonment, and predation by leopards, hyenas, and wild dogs. Male cubs are excluded from their maternal pride when they reach maturity at around 2 or 3 years of age, while some females may leave when they reach the age of 2. When a new male lion takes over a pride, adolescents both male and female may be evicted. Lions may live 12 to 17 years in the wild. Although adult lions have no natural predators, evidence suggests most die violently from attacks by humans or other lions. Lions often inflict serious injuries on members of other prides they encounter in territorial disputes or members of the home pride when fighting at a kill. Crippled lions and cubs may fall victim to hyenas and leopards or be trampled by buffalo or elephants. Careless lions may be maimed when hunting prey. Nile may also kill and eat lions, evidenced by the occasional lion claw found in crocodile stomachs. Ticks commonly infest the ears, neck, and groin regions of the lions. Adult forms of several tapeworm species of the genus Tenia have been isolated from lion intestines, having been ingested as larvae in antelope meat. Lions in the Ngorongoro crater were afflicted by an outbreak of stable fly, Stomoxys calcitrans, in 1962, resulting in lions becoming emaciated and covered in bloody, bare patches. Lions sought unsuccessfully to evade the biting flies by climbing trees or crawling into hyena burrows. Many died or migrated and the local population dropped from 70 to 15 individuals. A more recent outbreak in 2001 killed 6 lions. Captive lions have been infected with canine distemper virus, CDV, since at least the mid-1970s. CDV is spread by domestic dogs and other carnivores. A 1994 outbreak in Serengeti National Park resulted in many lions developing neurological symptoms such as seizures. During the outbreak, several lions died from pneumonia and encephalitis. Feline immunodeficiency virus and lentivirus also affect captive lions. When resting, lion socialization occurs through a number of behaviors. The animal's expressive movements are highly developed. The most common peaceful, tactile gestures are head rubbing and social licking, which have been compared with the role of allo-grooming among primates. Head rubbing, nuzzling the forehead, face, and neck against another lion appears to be a form of greeting and is seen often after an animal has been apart from others or after a fight or confrontation. Males tend to rub other males, while cubs and females rub females. Social licking often occurs in tandem with head rubbing. It is generally mutual and the recipient appears to express pleasure. The head and neck are the most common parts of the body licked. This behavior may have arisen out of utility because lions cannot lick these areas themselves. Lions have an array of facial expressions and body postures that serve as visual gestures. A common facial expression is the grimace face or flamen response, which a lion makes when sniffing chemical signals and involves an open mouth with bared teeth, raised muzzle, wrinkled nose, closed eyes, and relaxed ears. Lions also use chemical and visual marking. Males spray urine and scrape plots of ground and objects within the territory. The lion's repertoire of vocalizations is large, variations in intensity and pitch appear to be central to communication. Most lion vocalizations are variations of growling, snarling, meowing and roaring. Other sounds produced include purring, puffing, bleating and humming. Roaring is used to advertise its presence. Lions most often roar at night, a sound that can be heard from a distance of 8 kilometers, 5 miles. They tend to roar in a very characteristic manner, starting with a few deep, long roars that subside into grunts. Several large and well-managed protected areas in Africa host large lion populations. Where an infrastructure for wildlife tourism has been developed, cash revenue for park management and local communities is a strong incentive for lion conservation. Most lions now live in East and Southern Africa. Their numbers are rapidly decreasing, and fell by an estimated 30 to 50% in the late half of the 20th century. Primary causes of the decline include disease and human interference. In 1975, it was estimated that since the 1950s, lion numbers had decreased by half to 200,000 or fewer. Estimates of the African lion population range between 16,500 and 47,000 living in the wild in 2002 to 2004. In the Republic of the Congo, jungle𝓃 National Park was considered a lion stronghold in the 1990s. By 2014, no lions were recorded in the protected area, so the population is considered locally extinct. The West African lion population is isolated from the one in Central Africa, with little or no exchange of breeding individuals. In 2015, it was estimated that this population consists of about 400 animals, including fewer than 250 mature individuals. They persist in 3 protected areas in the region, mostly in one population in the WAP Protected Area Complex, shared by Benin, Burkina Faso, and Niger. This population is listed as critically endangered. Field surveys in the WAP ecosystem revealed that lion occupancy is lowest in the W National Park, and higher in areas with permanent staff and thus better protection. A population occurs in Cameroon's Waza National Park, where between approximately 14 and 21 animals persisted as of 2009. In addition, 50 to 150 lions are estimated to be present in Burkina Faso's Arli-Singu ecosystem. In 2015, an adult male lion and a female lion were sighted in Ghana's Mole National Park. These were the first sightings of lions in the country in 39 years. In the same year, a population of up to 200 lions that was previously thought to have been extirpated was filmed in the Alatash National Park, Ethiopia, close to the Sudanese border. In 2005, lion conservation strategies were developed for West and Central Africa, and/or East and Southern Africa. The strategies seek to maintain suitable habitat, ensure a sufficient wild prey base for lions, reduce factors that lead to further fragmentation of populations, and make lion-human coexistence sustainable. Lion depredation on livestock is significantly reduced in areas where herders keep livestock in improved enclosures. Such measures contribute to mitigating human-lion conflict. The last refuge of the Asiatic lion population is the 1,412 square kilometers 545 square miles Gir National Park and surrounding areas in the region of Saurashtra or Kathiawar Peninsula in Gujarat State, India. The population has risen from approximately 180 lions in 1974 to about 400 in 2010. It is geographically isolated, which can lead to inbreeding and reduced genetic diversity. Since 2008, the Asiatic lion has been listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List. By 2015, the population had grown to 523 individuals inhabiting an area of 7,000 square kilometers 2,700 square miles in Saurashtra. In 2017, about 650 individuals were recorded during the Asiatic lion census. The presence of numerous human settlements close to Gir National Park resulted in conflict between lions, local people, and their livestock. Some consider the presence of lions a benefit, as they keep populations of crop-damaging herbivores in check. Lions imported to Europe before the middle of the 19th century were possibly foremost Barbary lions from North Africa, or Cape lions from southern Africa. Another 11 animals thought to be Barbary lions kept in Addis Ababa Zoo are descendants of animals owned by Emperor Haile Selassie. WildLink International in collaboration with Oxford University launched an ambitious international Barbary lion project with the aim of identifying and breeding Barbary lions in captivity for eventual reintroduction into a national park in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco. However, a genetic analysis showed that the captive lions at Addis Ababa Zoo were not Barbary lions, but rather closely related to wild lions in Chad and Cameroon. In 1982, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums started a species survival plan for the Asiatic lion to increase its chances of survival. In 1987, it was found that most lions in North American zoos were hybrids between African and Asiatic lions. Breeding programs need to note origins of the participating animals to avoid crossbreeding different subspecies and thus reducing their conservation value. Captive breeding of lions was halted to eliminate individuals of unknown origin and pedigree. Wild-born lions were imported to American zoos from Africa between 1989 and 1995. Breeding was continued in 1998 in the frame of an African lion species survival plan. About 77% of the captive lions registered in the International Species Information System in 2006 were of unknown origin. These animals might have carried genes that are extinct in the wild and may therefore be important to the maintenance of the overall genetic variability of the lion. Lions are part of a group of exotic animals that have been central to zoo exhibits since the late 18th century. Although many modern zoos are more selective about their exhibits, there are more than 1,000 African and 100 Asiatic lions in zoos and wildlife parks around the world. They are considered an ambassador species and are kept for tourism, education, and conservation purposes. Lions can live over 20 years in captivity. For example, 3 sibling lions at the Honolulu Zoo lived to the age of 22 in 2007. The first European zoos spread among noble and royal families in the 13th century, and until the 17th century were called seraglios. At that time, they came to be called menageries, an extension of the Cabinet of Curiosities. They spread from France and Italy during the Renaissance to the rest of Europe. In England, although the seraglio tradition was less developed, lions were kept at the Tower of London in a seraglio established by King John in the 13th century. This was probably stocked with animals from an earlier menagerie started in 1125 by Henry I at his hunting lodge in Woodstock, Oxfordshire, where according to William of Malmesbury lions had been stocked. Lions were kept in cramped and squalid conditions at London Zoo until a larger lion house with roomier cages was built in the 1870s. Further changes took place in the early 20th century when Carl Hagenbeck designed enclosures with concrete rocks, more open space and a moat instead of bars, more closely resembling a natural habitat. Hagenbeck designed lion enclosures for both Melbourne Zoo and Sydney's Taronga Zoo. Although his designs were popular, the use of bars and caged enclosures prevailed in many zoos until the 1960s. In the late 20th century, larger, more natural enclosures and the use of wire mesh or laminated glass instead of lowered dens allowed visitors to come closer than ever to the animals. Some attractions such as the Cat Forest/Lion Overlook of Oklahoma City Zoological Park place the den on ground level, higher than visitors. Lion taming has been part of both established circuses and individual acts such as Siegfried and Roy. The practice began in the early 19th century by Frenchman Henry Martin and American Isaac van Amberg, who both toured widely and whose techniques were copied by a number of followers. Van Amberg performed before Queen Victoria in 1838 when he toured Great Britain. Martin composed a pantomime titled Les Lions de Mysore, The Lions of Mysore, an idea Amberg quickly borrowed. These acts eclipsed equestrianism acts as the central display of circus shows and entered public consciousness in the early 20th century with cinema. In demonstrating the superiority of human over animal, lion taming served a purpose similar to animal fights of previous centuries. The ultimate proof of a tamer's dominance and control over a lion is demonstrated by the placing of the tamer's head in the lion's mouth. The now iconic lion tamer's chair was possibly first used by American Clyde Beatty, 1903 to 1965. Lion hunting has occurred since ancient times and was often a royal tradition, intended to demonstrate the power of the king over nature. Such hunts took place in a reserved area in front of an audience. The monarch was accompanied by his men and controls were put in place to increase their safety and ease of killing. The earliest surviving record of lion hunting is an ancient Egyptian inscription dated circa 1380 BC that mentions Pharaoh Amenhotep III killing 102 lions in 10 years with his own arrows. The Assyrian emperor Ashurbanipal had one of his lion hunts depicted on a sequence of Assyrian palace relief c. 640 BC, known as the Lion Hunt of Ashurbanipal. Lions were also hunted during the Mughal Empire, where Emperor Jahangir is said to have excelled at it. In ancient Rome, lions were kept by emperors for hunts, gladiator fights and executions. The Maasai people have traditionally viewed the killing of lions as a rite of passage. Historically, lions were hunted by individuals, however, due to reduced lion populations, elders discouraged solo lion hunts. During the European colonization of Africa in the 19th century, the hunting of lions was encouraged because they were considered pests and lion skins were sold for £1 each. The widely reproduced imagery of the heroic hunter chasing lions would dominate a large part of the century. Trophy hunting of lions in recent years has been met with controversy, notably with the killing of Cecil the lion in mid-2015. Lions do not usually hunt humans, but some, usually males, seem to seek them out. One well-publicized case is the Tsavo man-eaters. In 1898, 28 officially recorded railway workers building the Uganda Railway were taken by lions over 9 months during the construction of a bridge in Kenya. 234 The hunter who killed the lions wrote a book detailing the animals' predatory behavior. They were larger than normal and lacked manes, and one seemed to suffer from tooth decay. The infirmity theory, including tooth decay, is not favored by all researchers. An analysis of teeth and jaws of man-eating lions in museum collections suggests that while tooth decay may explain some incidents, prey depletion in human-dominated areas is a more likely cause of lion predation on humans. Sick or injured animals may be more prone to man-eating, but the behavior is not unusual, nor necessarily aberrant. Lions' proclivity for man-eating has been systematically examined. American and Tanzanian scientists report that man-eating behavior in rural areas of Tanzania increased greatly from 1990 to 2005. At least 563 villagers were attacked and many eaten over this period. The incidents occurred near Silas Game Reserve in Rufiji River and in Lindi region near the Mozambican border. While the expansion of villages into bush country is one concern, the authors argue conservation policy must mitigate the danger because in this case, conservation contributes directly to human deaths. Cases in Lindi in which lions seize humans from the centers of substantial villages have been documented. Another study of 1,000 people attacked by lions in southern Tanzania between 1988 and 2009 found that the weeks following the full moon, when there was less moonlight, were a strong indicator of increased nighttime attacks on people. According to Robert R. Frump, Mozambican refugees regularly crossing Kruger National Park, South Africa, at night are attacked and eaten by lions. Park officials have said man-eating is a problem there. Frump said thousands may have been killed in the decades after apartheid sealed the park and forced refugees to cross the park at night. For nearly a century before the border was sealed, Mozambicans had regularly crossed the park in daytime with little harm. The lion is one of the most widely recognized animal symbols in human culture. It has been extensively depicted in sculptures and paintings, on national flags, and in contemporary films and literature. It is considered to be the monarch of the beasts, symbolizing power, royalty, and protection. Several leaders have had lion in their name, including Sundiata Keita of the Mali Empire, who was called Lion of Mali, and Richard the Lionheart of England. The male's mane makes it a particularly recognizable feature and thus has been represented more than the female. Nevertheless, the lioness has also had importance as a guardian. In sub-Saharan Africa, the lion has been a common character in stories, proverbs, and dances, but rarely featured in visual arts. In the Swahili language, the lion is known as Simba, which also means aggressive, king and strong. In parts of West and East Africa, the lion is associated with healing and provides the connection between seers and the supernatural. In other East African traditions, the lion represents laziness. In much of African folklore, the lion is portrayed as having low intelligence and is easily tricked by other animals. In Nubia, the lion god Ape-Demak was associated with the flooding of the Nile. In ancient Egypt, lions were linked both with the sun and the waters of the Nile. Several gods were conceived as being partially lion, including the war deities Sekhmet and Mahis, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. Shu, god of the air, was depicted kneeling between two lions while holding a headrest. The lions mark where the sun rises and sets and symbolize yesterday and tomorrow. The lion was a prominent symbol in ancient Mesopotamia from Sumer up to Assyrian and Babylonian times, where it was strongly associated with kingship. The big cat was a symbol and steed of fertility goddess Inanna. Lions decorate the processional way leading to the Ishtar Gate in Babylon, which was built by Nebuchadnezzar II in the 6th century BCE. The Lion of Babylon symbolized the power of the king and protection of the land against enemies, but was also invoked for good luck. The constellation Leo, the lion, was first recognized by the Sumerians around 4,000 years ago and is considered to be the fifth sign of the zodiac. In ancient Israel, a lion represented the tribe of Judah. Lions are frequently mentioned in the Bible, notably in the book of Daniel, in which the eponymous hero refuses to worship King Darius and is forced to sleep in the lion's den, where he is miraculously unharmed. Dan 6. Indo-Persian chroniclers regarded the lion as keeper of order in the realm of animals. The Sanskrit word mrigendra signifies a lion as king of animals in general or deer in particular. In India, the lion capital of Ashoka, erected by Emperor Ashoka in the 3rd century CE, depicts 4 lions standing back to back. In Hindu mythology, the half-lion Narasimha, an avatar of the deity Vishnu, battles and slays the evil ruler Hiranyakashipu. In Buddhist art, lions are associated with both arhats and bodhisattvas and may be ridden by the Manjushri. Though they were never native to the country, lions have played important roles in Chinese culture. Statues of the beast have guarded the entrances to the imperial palace and many religious shrines. The lion dance has been performed in China and beyond for over 1,000 years. Thank you for watching this video.